start with explaining the access specifiers we have been using. Especially we will try to understand what exactly is package private, followed by public and then private. So let's start with that. So this is a demo example which I have created. So here we have got a class circle. So this explains, one class explains the concept and another class creates object for that and executes methods. Okay, so now let's try to get to know what exactly is package private. Primarily, let's understand what exactly is a package. So how have we come across this package? For example, here when we right click our project and then when we go to the new, so here we are going to get an option like Java package. We have got Java class, Java frame form and all those things. Among them one is your Java package. What exactly is package, my dear friends? As you can see here, all these yellow colored icons are to be treated as your packages. Basically, packages are used to categorize your different classes. For example, in this package, let's say this is the package name which I have given data types. I have included all the classes which are going to demonstrate different data types. So all the classes related to the data types have been categorized or have been grouped together, and that group is named as your data types. For example, another one, we have got a loops here. In the loops package, I have included do while, for each, simple while and so on. Basically, Java contains lakhs of classes, many number of classes which are going to do specific tasks for you. For example, if all the classes related to networking, then all those classes are grouped with the package name, maybe by the name network. For example, here I have got variables. What I want to trying to say here is, whenever you have a group of classes, we are going to categorize them, we are going to group them, and we are going to give a name to that particular group. This itself becomes as a package. You can treat it as a separate folder. Basically, when we look into the the source code, we are going to see all these packages as different folders. Basically, we are going to use them to do what? To differentiate between two or more classes. If loops related classes are there, then I'm going to put them in the loops, and if control statement related classes are there, then I'm going to categorize into control statements package, and so on. Basically, when we look at the package name, we will come to know what kind of methods or what kind of task that particular classes which are categorized into a package may do the work for us. So whenever we are going to create a new file or a new class, we are expected to store them in a specific package. We are never going to store them in the default package. So every project we are going to create in the NetBeans is going to have a default package. That means whenever we don't categorize any Java class into any package, automatically it goes into the default package. So now what I want to explain you is what exactly are different data, what exactly are access specifiers. We have got 4 access specifiers, my dear friends. The first one is private, followed by public, and then package private. We don't really write it as package private, but conceptually it is package private, followed by the last one, which is based on inheritance, that is your protected. So now in this class I will talk about private, public and package private. Okay, by default in Java, every member of a class is package private. So now let's start with one by one. So now I'll start with what exactly is your private. Whenever you want to make any member of a class private, we write them as private. Okay, so now we are talking about making a member private. So now here in this example, in the line number 15, I am trying to prefix this double radius member, radius which is of type double, as private. What's the thing with private? Whenever we make a member private, only the member of the same class can access this private member. For example, now radius is private to the class, then only area can access the member radius. So for example, right now, as you can see here in the class demo, I have created an object to the class circle. So if you have not understood what exactly is the creation of an object, so you need to go back to my videos and then you need to go through that concept of creating your object. So repeating again, this is your variable object name creation, this is your memory allocation, and then the allocated memory is assigned to this particular variable C. Okay, now in the line number 25, when I am trying to do C dot radius equals to 1.5, then we have got an error here because the member radius is private to this particular class circle. Whenever it is private, that member which is private cannot be accessed outside the class. So now here the class circle ends at line number 19. Okay, and your class spans from line number 14 to line number 19. Now this is a separate class. I cannot access your radius within this particular class demo 1 because the radius is, this radius is private within the class circle. That's why we have got a red balloon here saying radius has private access in circle. So this is the issue with the private. When you don't want any other part of the other class to access your members, then we make them as private. Whenever we make a member private, then it means that only other members of the same class can access that particular member. Okay, so that is the issue with the private. Now I'll talk with package private. So see it, my dear friends. Now I'm going to remove this private. Whenever in Java we don't see any X specifier, we are going to treat it as package private. This doesn't mean that I'm going to write it up as package private here. No, it is default, it is understood. I cannot write, see, if I write package private, it's the big error. We don't have any such thing as written thing as package private. So we need to understand them as package private. So what do we mean by package private? So now, as you can see, what is the first line of every Java program we write? We specify to which package this particular class is going to belong. So now I have given the package name as AP1. That means here I have AP1. Here I came here, so I took new class, and then I have written this particular program. So this particular program is now a member of your package AP1. So now this is your package AP1. Now the radius member of this class circle, now it is to be treated as package private. This means this member radius can be accessed within this particular package only. If this AP1 package has 10 files, then within all those 10 files and I can access this member, that is radius. So I'll repeat, what is the name here? This is package private. It is not private to the class, it is private to the package. This means every member of your package class, package AP1, can access this particular member, that is your radius. This means I can access in another class within the same file, or else I can access this anywhere. So that becomes your package private. Okay. Now So now let's see its demonstration. Now I have got double radius, my dear friends. So now here double radius. Now when I do c dot radius, now I don't get any error for that. Okay, so now everything is cool here. Now let's go according to the explanation. So now we have got class circle. Within the class circle I have got the radius as the member. What this area method is going to do, it's going to print the radius is followed by pi value, that is 3.1412 into radius into radius. Okay, now the class ends here. Okay, area ends here, the class ends here. Now this is another class. So keep this in mind, my dear friends. So in almost every class, every program, we are going to have at least two classes. One class which is going to explain the concept which is being described here, that is, here we have got the class circle, and in another class we are going to create an object for that, and then we are going to call their methods. Now within this class demo 1, I have got this public static void main, and then one parameter to handle your command line arguments. Now what is this line number 23? This is object creation, circle C. So what is this C? C is the object. What is the task of new circle? New circle is going to create memory needed to hold your variables or hold your members found in the class circle. Once you create a memory, you are going to assign that to the object C. Now I can do c dot radius equals to 1.5. I can do c dot radius is equals to 1.5 because this radius is package private, because this radius is package private. Since this radius can be accessed throughout your package, I am trying to access c dot radius here. So now circle has a radius, and the radius within the circle is getting the value 1.5. Now when I call c dot area, automatically the radius is calculated. The radius is 3.142 into 1.5 into 1.5 is going to happen. So now I'm running this file. Okay, so now I'm getting the answer. The radius equals to 7.0677. Okay, now we have got this naming convention to be followed within the Java, that is, the class which you are going to make it as public, that class name should be the same as your file name. Okay, now here, since demo1, within the demo1 I have got main method. Now I can make this as public. Now I can make this class as public. Okay, now I'm going to remove this public, then I'll show you what happens if I make that class which doesn't have main method as public. So now I get a small error here. What is this error? This error will say that the file name is not circle. So now let me show you the balloon here. It says class circle is public, should be declared in a file name circle. This means here the file name is demo1, so your Java runtime environment is expecting a class demo1 with main method. So here I have that. So what I can do is I can make this as public. I can make this as public, but I cannot have two classes as public within the same file. So that's why we have got this error, my dear friends. Okay, so this is the thing with the small thing with the naming convention. Okay, so now this is, let's go to another demo. So what we have seen so far, we have seen private, we have seen package private, a small glimpse of your public. Now to understand deeper, let me go to demo 2. So what do we have here? In the demo 2, I have got public static void main. My dear friends, followed by circle C. So see, you can see that this is a separate file. Demo 2 is a separate file, my dear friends. in this file I don't have the circle class, but where do I have circle class? I have got circle class in demo1. What is the access specification for this class circle? It is not private, it is not public. When we don't include anything, it is package private. So now this class is package private. This means within the package in which we have created circle, that is your AP1, I can access this circle throughout this AP1 package. That's why even in demo2 I can do circle C equals to new circle. So the circle class present here in demo1, this circle can be accessed throughout this particular package. Okay, now as we have created object here, radius here, similarly I can do that in demo2, which is another file, right? Okay, so circle C equals to new circle, create object, assign memory, C dot radius equals to 25. So now let's see what is the issue with the radius. There shouldn't be any. What is the access specification of radius here? Radius is package private. Within the package you can access this particular member, that is your radius, right? Okay, so now I can do C dot radius equals to 2.5, and if I calculate C dot area, so now it should give me this whatever is that calculated answer. So now the radius is 19.6325. So I hope package private is more clear. When we don't include any access specifier, automatically by default it is made as package private. Okay, now let's go deeper into the public. So now here the only one class is public in demo1, that is your demo1 class, right? Okay, so now I'll come to demo2 here. So now what will happen when I try to import? Okay, so now what is the thing with this import? Import AP1 dot. So see here, when I say AP1 dot, so what is this AP1 basically? AP1 is the package name. When I give dot, it tells me what are all the things from AP1 I can use within this particular file. So now why do I have a circle here? I have circle here because circle within the demo1 is package private. Where am I writing this import? Within the same package. So that's why I can clearly use circle. Now why do I have demo1? Why can I access demo1? I can access demo1 because that is also elevated, that has got elevated access, that is your public, right? So now what will happen if I don't make it as public? So now here your demo1 is package private. I'll come to demo2. Now I will give dot here. Once again it has to give me, because within the same package I can clearly access all these circle, demo1, and of course this file itself is demo2. Okay, so the import, whenever we import, only the specific classes and methods can be accessed. Unlike your hash include, what we used to use in C and C++, whenever we used hash include, the entire file was considered during the compilation process. So for example, suppose now if I want to use sqrt method, when I use sqrt method, I still have to include, just to use sqrt method, I had to include your mat.h. Your mat.h might have included so many other functions which had got nothing to do with sqrt, but still we included that one. That increased your compilation time and also your execution time also, right? So to avoid all those things, what we have in Java is we are going to have this import statement. Within import, what I can do is I can specifically target one particular method instead of getting the entire file within this particular source file. So that's the one very good thing what we find in Java. Okay, so this is all about your access specifiers, and we are left with protected, and we will talk about protected whenever we go to the inheritance topic. So very soon, within next two classes, we are going to jump to inheritance, but this package private, even though we don't have any such topics especially specified within the syllabus, but still every time we are going to either include an access specifier or we don't include, it is very necessary to know what exactly is this package private, public and private. So this was a small demonstration about what exactly are the different access specifiers. So now let's move on to the next topic, that is our constructors. So what exactly is a constructor, my dear friends? Constructor basically can be defined as, constructor basically is defined as is a special method, which carries the same name as that of the class. That means within the class we are going to have a method which carries the same name as that of the method class itself. For example, here we have got the class box. Within the class box I have got other one method. The name of the method is also your box. And what is the next property? Constructor is a special method which carries the same name as that of the class, and it doesn't return any value. See here, even though I am saying it is a method, see, it is not just a simple method, it is a special method, right? Special method because unlike many other methods, user defined methods we are going to do, we have to take care of few things here. One thing is, it does not have a return type. That means, foolish to say, I cannot write any return statement here. Okay, so I cannot return anything. I should not return anything there within the constructor, right? It doesn't return any value. Constructor is a special method which carries the same name as that of the class. It doesn't return any value, and the most important thing, it is automatically called when the object is invoked. That means whenever we are going to create an object to the class box, automatically your constructor is executed. Whatever you are going to write within that particular constructor method, special method, it automatically gets executed whenever we create an object to this particular class box. Okay, so these are the few things which I need to remember. The first thing is same name as that of the class. Second thing, so I don't give any return type here, so I don't give it. So let me see, what does it say? Okay, so I should not return any value here. Okay, I should not. So but in few instances we may come across some variations. We will discuss about them later. Carries the same name as that of a class, it doesn't return any value, and then it is automatically invoked when the object is automatically called when the object is invoked, my dear friends. Okay, fine. Now let's get into a small demonstration here. So what do we have here in the line number 11? We are starting with a class box. So if you have gone through my previous video on the classes concept, width, height and depth are not new members to you, right? So we have seen at least 5 to 6 different classes with this parameters. Followed by, we have got this box constructor, my dear friends. So we have got this box constructor. So now what do we have in this constructor? Whenever we are going to create an object, the constructor is called. Whenever this constructor is called, we are going to have this message constructing box. And then we are going to have 10, 10, 10, the values each for width, height and depth. Now let's see what else do we have within this particular box class. We have got a volume method which is going to find the product of width, height and depth, and then that's the volume of a box, right? Okay, now so this is where your box ends. Okay, now what is this box demo 6 is doing? Box demo 6 is having one main method, your public static void main. So I'll not repeat it why it is public static and void. You need to go through the previous videos for that. Now in the line number 31 we have got the first object creation. So I'll be going a little bit faster because we have explained and we have seen what is this my box 1 and my box 2. We have seen object creation also. So now I will avoid explaining the object creation from now on. So now we have got two objects, that is my box 1 and my box 2, both for the class box, right? Okay, now we have got one variable, that is double volume. Now we are going to do volume equals to my box 1 dot volume. What is my box 1? My box 1 is the object. What is volume? Volume is the method included in the box. Yes. Now let me repeat again. When we have my box 1, we are going to create an object. If there is a constructor, user defined constructor, your constructor is executed here. For every individual object, your constructor is individually executed, right? When we are going to create my box 1, control jumps here, constructing box is printed, okay, and to the object my box 1, my box 1's width, height and depth is set to 10, 10, 10 each. Once again we have got object 2 creation. Once again your constructor is called, constructor is executed here. So for this, once again constructing box will be displayed, okay, and my box 2's width, height and depth are set to 10, 10, 10 each. Okay, now we have got double volume. Now my box 1's width, height and depth are set to 10, 10, 10, and now we are going to create this volume. We are going to execute this volume 10 into 10 into 10. So now 10 into 10 into 10, that is your 1000. That 1000 volume value is returned. That 1000 is assigned to this wall, and volume is 1000 is displayed. Similarly, we are going to repeat it on object 2, that is my box 2. In the my box 2, what are the values to the my box 2's width, height and depth? It's the same 10, 10, 10. So once again your volume method is called. So here once again we are going to have this message, constructing box, width, height and depth are set to 10 each, followed by volume is 1000. So here the only difference what we are going to see from previous examples to this example is the object's creation and its constructor execution. So now when we execute this particular program, we are going to see constructing box twice because we have got two objects. And for the both objects, we have got 10, 10, 10 set for your width, height and depth. So even the volume is also expected to be the same. So now let's check. As you can see, for two objects, we had two constructing box messages, and both the box volumes are 1000 each. So this is a simple example of your constructor. So before going out of this particular program, so now what exactly is a constructor? Again, constructor is a special method which has the same name as sort of a class, which doesn't usually return a value, and it is automatically called when the object is invoked or object is created. Okay, now let's see what are parameterized constructors. So now we have got box demo 7. So yes, my dear friends, I have taken all these examples from your Herbert skill textbook. Okay, so for detailed explanation, or if you want to take this really execute these programs, you can either copy them from the textbook, or else I'll be sharing this over Edmodo. You can do with this. Okay, now what is the new thing what we find here? So here we have got the same box. So as you can see, we cannot have this two classes with the same name within a package. So that's the only reason why I have this box one. So even we have done this in the previous video also, so this should not sound strange to you, right? Okay, now we have got three parameters: width, height and depth. So we have got, what is this? This is, what is the name of this particular method? Box one. So what is the class name? Class name is also box one, right? So now here we have a method which carries the same name as that of the class. So now this must be the constructor, right? Unlike your previous example, so here in this previous example here your parameter list is empty here, but here we have got a parameter list, double W and double H and double D. So now we expect parameters to be passed to this constructor method. So now we see how we are going to do that. Okay, and then we will come to this assignment. Now we have got volume method, the same volume method which is going to find width, height and depth, and which is going to multiply width, height and depth, and it's going to return the volume. Now we have got your class box ends here, right? Box 1 ends here, so we have to be very clear with the clear indentation and where exactly the new class starts. So now this is box demo 7. We have got the main method here. So here box 1, my box 1, my box 2, what are these? These are two objects, and the new thing what we find here is within the box 1 we have got 3 parameters. So now my dear friends, this is the way to pass parameters to constructor. So if you want to pass parameters to the constructor, my dear friends, so we are going to write it here, write them here to be exactly right. Now to the class, to the method constructor, that is to the method box 1, 10, 20, 15, these 3 values are sent. So now with the same order, 10, 20 and 15 are copied into width, height and double. Width is 10, height is 20 and depth is 15. Okay, W, H, D. So now the passed parameters are W, H and D. Those 10, 20, 15 are assigned to width, height and depth. What are these? These belongs to my box 1. So here width, height and depth belongs to my box 1 object. So my box 1's width is 10, my box 1's height is 20, my box 1's depth is 15, right? Very similarly here we have got second object creation. So now once again, this is the way to pass parameters to your constructor, right? So this is how we do it. Now we have got 3 parameters, 3, 6, 9. In the last we sent 10, 20, 15 for my box 1. So now this is another box, right? This is another object. So the dimensions are 3, 6 and 9. So now for the second time, now here we have got 3, 6 and 9. So now mind it, my dear friends, here this is my box 2's dimensions, right? So my box 2's width is 3, my box 2's height is 6 and my box 2's depth is 9. So those 3, 6 and 9 are assigned to width, height and depth of my box 2. In the last call we did width, height and depth of my box 1. Now this is my box 2's width, height and depth, right? Now my box 1 and my box 2's dimensions are set. The volume is another variable, right? Now we are going to do my box 1 dot volume. Okay, so now let's include one message as we had in previous example. So system.out.println inside the constructor, right? So for 2 objects we are going to have 2 lines inside the constructor, right? Okay, now when I do my box 1 dot volume, what are the dimensions of my box 1? 10, 20 and 15. 10 into 20 is your 200. 200 into 15, 200 into 15 is 3000. So the volume of first box is 3000, right? So that 3000 is assigned to your VOL volume variable here, and the same thing is displayed here. Very similarly, what are the dimensions of my box 2? My box 2's dimensions are 3 into 6, 3, 6 and 9. What is 3 into 6? 3 into 6 is 18. 18 into 9, so maybe around 162. This shall be the volume of your second box. So now the volume of second box should be displayed approximately 162. And the most important thing what we have to notice is whenever we are going to, when these my box 1 and my box 2s are created, we are going to have this message inside the constructor, and the respective parameters are assigned to the variables. Oh yes, inside the constructor twice, because that's the message we have shown here, right? So that's the message we have shown here. Volume is 3000. Yes, of course. What are those values? Those values were 10 into 20 into 15, right? Oh yes, 162. So it is the same 162 we have been following from the previous video, right? So this example explains the parameterized constructors, my dear friends. So in the next class, in the next example, we are going to see a small example of this operator. Very easy, very important. So now here we are going to demonstrate the use of the keyword this. Okay, so what exactly is this? This usually used to resolve the naming conflicts. So now let me first explain what exactly is the conflict here, and then I'll try to use this operator. So now what is this? Very similar to the previous example. Here we have got box 2. This box has got width, height and depth, and in the box 2 we have got a constructor which is going to take 3 values and assign it to different variables. We have got the volume method. Inside the volume method we are going to multiply width, height and depth. Now it is almost the same example what we have seen in the last file. So now we have got 2 object creation. So now okay, so we don't, that's not actually the point of discussion here, but still this is the new thing. I'm going to include this message inside the constructor, right? Inside the constructor. Fine. Whenever you're going to execute my box 1 and my box 2, when these 2 objects are created, for every object inside the constructor is called, right? Okay, so now let's go through one by one. This is very important. Okay, 10, 20 and 15 are the 3 values passed when my box 1 was created, right? Now 10, 20 and 15 are passed here. 10, 20 and 15 are passed here, right? Okay, now 10 is assigned to width, 20 is assigned to height, and 15 is assigned to depth. Please note down here, my dear friends. So here in the method header, width, height and depth are the variables created within the constructor, right? Once the constructor is over, the lifetime of this particular variable ends there. Now the issue is the variable, the members within the box 2 are also width, height and depth, and the parameters which I have used to store these 10, 20 and 15 are also width, height and depth. So here we have got the conflict. When I am going to use width equals to width, which width is trying to be referred here? So now when we create this my box 1, this my box 1 is going to have its own width, height and depth. Now the width, height and depth of my box 1 are supposed to get the values 10, 20 and 15. Now the width is, which is specified here, that width is actually at the right hand side, but I don't have anything clearly right now to differentiate which width is this one and which width is this one. To resolve this conflict, my dear friends, we use this keyword. When we say this dot width means it is that member which is created within that particular class. It is that width which belongs to the object which is being referred to. Now this is my box 1. Now in the left hand side I am expected to have my box 1's width. So now when we have got 2 widths, 2 heights, 2 depths, how do I differentiate? When I use this, then this dot width means that width which is created within the class. So here I am going to use this dot height, I am going to use this dot depth. So this is the significance of this keyword, my dear friends. So this keyword is used to resolve the naming conflicts which occurs when we use self-explanatory identifiers for methods or variables. We can easily think like when the identifier namespace identifier, whatever we can use for identifiers is the uppercase alphabets, lowercase alphabets, your underscore, your digits, and so many things. Why do we have to stick on to the same width, height, and depth? See, this is a simple program what we are trying to explain here. When you are going to write complex softwares, big softwares, there you cannot remember every identifier you have kept. That's why it is very, very important to have self-explanatory names. When you have self-explanatory names, identifiers for the members and your variables, you need not remember everything. You can just use it because that's the way everybody within the team is going to code it. That's why we are going to use self-explanatory members of the class. Okay, so this is everything with this keyword. So the last example of today's session is your garbage collection. What is this garbage collection, my dear friends? Garbage collection is a mechanism within the Java which is going to deallocate the memory when an object is not referring to any memory. Suppose, for example, here we have got the same class. Here now box 3 is there. Okay, we have got width, height, and depth. Now we have got the constructor. It's the same constructor which we have used. So now I'll directly jump to the object creation. So here for B1 we have got memory, for B2 we have got memory, but B3 and B4, my dear friends, those are just objects without any memory. Okay, right now they don't have any memory to point to. Now what we are going to do is we are going to execute the same B1.volume. Now what I'm going to do after doing this, I'm going to assign B1 to B3. I'm going to assign B1 to B3. Now I'm going to, if I execute B3.volume, if I execute B3.volume, I should get the same answer because now B3 is having the same members, same status as B1, right? Now after doing this, I'm going to assign B1 to null. Now B1 is not pointing to any memory. At this point, B1 is eligible for garbage collection because there is no use of B1 here. So the garbage collection in Java happens automatically during the execution. Okay. Now whatever at this point, that is till line number 41, your B1 was pointing to the same memory to which your B3 is pointing to now. But what is the use of having two identifiers referring to the same memory location? That's why what I have done, B1 is null. Now during the execution, when B1 is not pointing to any memory, that is taken out of the scope, right? And now this is how your garbage collection happens. A simple example to show you. Okay, so I must have included something. Yeah, see here in line number 43, it is giving me an exception saying java.null pointer exception. Let's try to understand this one. See, after assigning B1 to null, if I do B1.volume, it is saying that your Java runtime environment is saying that right now B1 is not pointing to any memory. That's why I'm trying to do something with this B1, but that B1 is not pointing to any memory location. That's why it has got nothing to display. That's why we have got this error. Okay, in this class we have seen access specifiers, constructors, and this keyword, right? In the next class I'll start with the inheritance. So what else do we have? So okay, we'll see the rest of the parts of module 3 in the next class. So if you have got any comments, if you have got any doubts, a Zoom session will be arranged so you can post your doubts there. Till that, keep coding. Thank you for seeing that, watching my video. If you have liked it, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you again.